Are you in our classroom, darling? No? Okay. Okay, it's loading. Okay. I hope everybody's having a great day. We're going to talk about the number 7 today. Woo! 7. Yeah, the 7 stages and ages of man. It's 7. The number 7 is super significant. Look at this. Look at all the different ways different cultures talk about 7. Now, you guys know different cultures overlap. We studied that with the origin stories at the beginning of the year, right? So look, in the Old Testament, God created the world in 6 days and rested on the 7th. In the Quran, there are 7 heavens, and Muslim pilgrims walk around Mecca 7 times. In Hinduism, there are 7 higher worlds and 7 underworlds. In Buddhism, the newborn Buddha rises and takes 7 steps. We have the 7 wonders of the world. Today, we're going to talk about the 7 deadly sins. And how many rooms were in Prince Prospero's abbey or castle? There were 7. Woo! 7. Okay? So 7 is significant across cultures, across time periods. We're going to read a poem. It's actually from one of William Shakespeare's plays called As You Like It. And this poem is called The 7 Ages of Man. And here is how I like to look at poetry. So you guys have for sure studied poetry in the past. I am sure Jade just told me you annotated a whole bunch, right? So when I annotate, I like to use TPcast. All right, so we're going to put this in our notebooks. And the way that you get to your notebook is you go to your Google Drive. So join me now in your Google Drive. And you should, when you're in Google Drive, type in interactive. And up should come, I want the pre-AP interactive notebook. Okay, so here we are. We're in the pre-AP interactive notebook. I'm coming. And we're going to be on page 7. Let me help Travis. I'll be right back. Okay, so new tab. Type in drive, D-R-I-V-E, .google. There you are, right up there, the top one. So you go into that. Ooh. Okay. And right up here where it says search, type in the word interactive.
It's low, it's slow.
Okay, now have you made a copy of our interactive notebook to use?
No.
Probably not. That's not good. Take this and scroll down, see what shows up. Okay, I'm going to guess now. Okay, go to our Google Classroom. Go to classwork. Scroll down to resources.
No.
We're going to take a notebook there. Classroom resources. Look for something that says template.
Got it.
It's super slow today. So, you know. Choice B is we can plug you into the Ethernet. But you have to, yeah, well, you have to turn your chair. Do you have, wait, maybe not, hang on. I don't know, do you have an Ethernet slot on there? No, never mind. That was a lie. I have to buy one of those things. It's okay, we're good. We'll figure it out. Okay, come down, way down to classroom resources. Interactive note, right there. Okay. Open that up. And then you're gonna make a copy. Because you can't keep it. So go to File. Annotation. Yeah, okay, File. It just did, so try again. Oh, man, how rude. Sometimes it likes you. I go down to make a copy. You're in edit, so go over one to file. Make a copy. The whole thing. Yep, the entire presentation. Now, type your name. I would type where it says copy of. I would type Travis Dykes, interactive notebook. And then it's yours. Okay. So what we want to do on page 7 is we want to put in TPcast. Okay. So let me type this in our notes, and then everybody can just copy and paste. There you go. So you can just copy all of that right from our chat, which is what I'm doing. Hit Control C, come into our interactive notebook and hit Control V, and there you go. And now I'm going to need that to be a bit bigger. So I like Lato. I like it to be, yeah, that works for me. So that's what mine looks like. Try and make yours look like that too. Travis, have you copied it? No. Travis is way too excited about his phone, y'all.
I copied.
You copied TPcast? You're lying to me.
Oh, TPcast.
TPcast.
Oh, I thought you were talking about something else.
No, you copied the notebook, which is good. Go to our chat. Go back over there, go to our chat. Yeah, okay. So in our chat, I have to talk. Hang on. Copy all that. I'm not going to judge you. I promise I'm not. All the way down. Now Control C. Oh, okay. I don't know how you did that. That was smart. Control C. Okay, now go into your notebook. Translate. Nope. Yeah. Go to page 7. No, you're fine. Okay, text box. It's that right there. Control V. No, that's it. Control V. Yep. Look. There you go. Now you can make that bigger by highlighting it and then going to the font size, which is right there. I think I made mine like 16. Got it? Okay. Okay. So this is how we're going to look at poetry. The first thing we do is we look at the title and try to make some guesses about what that tells us.
Miss.
Yeah.
Can I copy some of these down? So can I take a picture so I can copy these down? Because I didn't get any of them.
Which ones?
All of
yeah.
them.
You mean from my notebook?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here, let me make that big. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's talk about TPcast. The first thing we do is we look at the title. Then we paraphrase it where we put it in our own words. Then we look at the connotation. Those are going to be like literary devices. Do we see imagery, symbolism, personification? What do we see happening here? Attitude is the speaker's attitude. How do they feel about the subject? Shifts. Does anything change? Like when you're driving a car, do you guys know how to drive a standard, not the automatic? You got to push in the clutch and then you can shift the car, right? And you move into a new gear. It's the same thing with poetry. Does the poem move into a new subject, a new speaker, a new attitude? Then we have the title. So we're going to look at the title again. after we've done all this stuff, we're going to look back at the title and say, did anything change? Do I think this title means something different now? And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about the theme of the poem. Why did the author write this? Are we good? I hope so. Okay, so now we're going to go to Google Classroom. Join me there. Go into Google Classroom. Travis, go into Google Classroom. Classwork, and I want you to pull up Masque of the Red Death 7. Okay, and you'll see two things. I want you to pull up the one that looks like it's a story, not the chart. So probably the first one. And then you're going to open it with Cami. The first one, the one that looks like a story, not like a chart. So yours should look like this when you open it up. And we are ready to annotate. So when I see the 7 ages of man, the first thing we do is we look at the title. What do I think that means, the 7 ages of man? What are your thoughts about what this could mean? Put a text box and let me know. What do you think the 7 ages of man are? Just without even reading the poem, what could that possibly mean, the 7 ages of man? What could this poem be about? Travis, what do you think? What could this poem be about? Well, we haven't read it yet, but just the title is called The 7 Ages of Man. What do we think it could be about? Man, look at that. Do you have it up in Cami? Stages in life. Very good. Okay, stages in life. Maybe it means evolution. Okay. Maybe it means types of people. At this point, we don't know. We are guessing, right? All we've done is look at the title. So what do you think it could be about? So make a note at the top, just like I did in Cami. What do you think this could be about? And any answer is right. The only wrong answer is no answer. It's you. It's your thoughts, okay? The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to paraphrase the poem as we read it. So I'm going to read it through once, and then we'll go back and we're going to put it in our own words, okay? When you read a poem, you stop at the punctuation. You don't stop at the end of the line, okay? So I'm going to read it, and I'll stop at the punctuation. Everybody's good? Ready for me to go?
Yes.
All right, here we go. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. Then the whining schoolboy, with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like a snail unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing like a furnace, with a woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow. Then a soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like the pard, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair round belly with good cap and lined, with eyes severe and a beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances. And so he plays his part. The 6th age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and a pouch on side. His youthful hose, well saved, a world too wide for shrunk shrank, and his big manly voice turning again toward childish trouble, pipes and whistles in his sound. Last scene of all, that ends this strange, eventful history, is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything. Okay, any questions about that poem? All right, take a minute and think about it. I'll be right back. Oh, I'm not on the email yet.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Did you get a letter, sweetie?
Charlie,
That's period?
that was sure enough.
All right, thank you.
How
You're
are you?
welcome. Miss Omo?
It's almost. Okay, you're the person we turn grades into.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Did you talk to somebody about your email?
They're trying to put me on, but since the malware went down, anybody who transfers to the
I
new
got
school
email
is
that
stuck. And so
Just
I
take.
transferred from Northside,
Oh.
so I don't know, maybe in a year.
Okay. You might want to let Ms. Consuelo know as well.
Okay.
She usually sends emails to 014.
I did email her, and Bradford tries to email them to me, but it's a lot when you're
Oh,
teaching, so
yeah.
I usually get them like maybe Friday. I'll get all of them.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Travis, there's a recycling bin right there, and you can put it in there. Okay, awesome. All right. Hi, everybody. I'm back. Okay. So I think you that poem is pretty easy, I think, to access. Let's go through and paraphrase it together. So I'm going to go back up to the top, and I'm going to use my markup and my comment box to do this, and you are too. All the world's a stage, and the men and women merely players. They have their exits and entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. What is this telling me? I'm actually going to not use the highlighter this time. I'm really just going to put the comment box. So what do I think that means? Well, what do you guys think this means? The world is like a play. And in our life, we all play.
Oh, I think I got it.
Okay. What do you think,
So
Jay?
the world is like a play. Like a play has scenes and acts. So it's like, I believe it's act 1 and then it's like scene 2. So
Yeah.
an act would be, let's say, whatever your age is, as in you're a teenager, but like your scene would be like you're 16.
Yeah. Okay. I really like that, Jade. So that's taking this idea. Your act is your stage of life. Hi there. I don't. What do you need, hun? Are you trying to get like a bottle of water or something?
I gotta get my brother his lunch.
I don't. All I have is a 20, which is no help to you at all. I am so sorry. And I have nothing to give you. I'm sorry. I know Miss Newman was looking for change yesterday. She might have gotten some. She's across the hall. Right across the hall. Her name is Miss Newman. Okay, she was looking yesterday. She might have found some. Okay, so as Jade was saying, the act is a stage of life, and then, yeah, life and death, Travis. That's what's going on here. And he's comparing it to a play. I really like what you said, Jade. I hope you add that in your comments. Okay. His acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. So let's make a comment right there. Our first, nope, I want this. There we go. Ooh, no, I like green. I want green. Dude, give me green. There we go. Okay. And so what am I going to say about this? What's the very first stage of life? Yep, very good. First stage. birth. 80, right? Here we go. The second stage. Then the whining schoolboy with his satchel. Do you guys know what a satchel is? If you
Yes, like a
don't,
man purse.
It's it's kind of like a bag, but it's similar to a purse, except it's more of a backpack.
exactly. And, you know, in Shakespeare's time, when Shakespeare wrote this would have been like a school bag, right? So now he's a whining schoolboy with his satchel. He creeps like a snail unwillingly to school. Can any of y'all relate to that? Do any of you move slowly to school? Are any of you guys tardy or slow to get on Google Meets, right?
I missed my entire first
Yeah.
period. I feel like getting up.
Like 3 days, first and second, dog, for real.
Right? So apparently this is nothing
Perfect
new.
attendance.
Shakespeare wrote about this 400 years ago. So the second stage is, I don't know how you want to phrase it, the child, the schoolboy, the teenager, the student. I think I'm going to put student. Doesn't want to go to school. And then we've got a whining schoolboy. They're a complainer to me, right? It's not fair. Nothing's fair. Actually, I need to cut all this out. Well, it's fine. Okay, so we've got I wanted that to be its own separate entrance. So I want to do this text box. Did I do it there? No, I want to do it right here. Okay. Second stage, student whining. Okay, hello, keyboard. Okay, so that's what I'm getting out of it. What's my third stage? What's next, guys?
The lover.
That's right. It's the lover. And the lover sighs like a furnace with a woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow. A ballad is like a poem of honor. And to his mistress's eyebrow, that's to the woman he loves. Do y'all know people like this? The guy who's like, I love her so much. She's so beautiful. Y'all, let
I'm in
me
high school, man. Those things don't exist.
Well, they're coming. The lovesick moment is coming. And in the lovesick moment, and you guys can even think about music and artists who sing about this. They go on and on and on about how beautiful this person is, right? When my friends did that to me in high school, I always had to have the phone like away from my ear. I was just done listening to it after about 5 minutes, right? But they kept going.
You get a week of it, and then you're like, oh, that's cute. And then you're like, no, that's
I'm
okay.
not sorry. But this is very Romeo and Juliet, right? Because in a week, they're
We
talking,
fell in love, and we're like, I will die for you.
right? And then the next week, it's somebody else. You know, like the eternal love.
Miss, stop calling me out.
I know it's you, Jade. I'm just saying this is what kids are like. Travis, do you have this experience? Are your friends in love, and then the next week they're in love with somebody else, and then the next week, oh no, it's her.
I'm just gonna cover my face.
You know what it's called, Miss?
Yes.
There's a word for that.
What is it? It's what?
I'm not gonna say it on the class.
Oh no, it's not a nice word. Okay.
That's
well,
not the same thing. That's a serial dater, not the same thing.
all I'm saying is that Shakespeare was writing about this, about people being in love and going on and on about something as silly as an eyebrow, or Her eyes, man, her eyes. You just don't even know. If you just looked at her eyes, you'd know. Those kinds of things, right?
Speaking
That
of
was
which, we don't enjoy lovesick 24/7. It only works in certain moments.
Well, this is what it was like in Shakespeare's time. So that's our third person. That's the lover. Okay, and the lover is it's very emotional, right? They sigh like a furnace. A furnace is burning hot. It's like they're all over that person. And if that person isn't back, you know, doesn't like them back, it's, oh, there he goes. He's not paying any attention to me. But he's so handsome. Did you see his shoes, what he was wearing, whatever? You get the point, I hope. What's my next stage? Then a soldier. All right. So we've got the baby, the whining kid, the emotional lover, and in the next stage, you're a soldier. What is the soldier worried about?
He wants honor, strong oaths,
Oaths.
quick to
Beautiful.
fight.
Jealous. Quick to fight. Right?
Seeking a bubble reputation.
A reputation that could burst. Right? If you look at bearded like a pard and you come down here, that means very hairy. Okay, so this is somebody who's hitting their maturity, right? Like to fight. They're honorable, they're jealous. If you think about Shakespeare's time, right? This lover, this emotional lover, that's like middle school age today, right? Where you're all lovesick over people and you write the notes, but then the next week it's somebody else. This fighter, this soldier, this person who's swearing a lot and is jealous and is loyal, I got to do it for my bros, you know, that kind of stuff. That's more like the age you guys are right now. That's going to be your high school, your 20s, right? You're past the, oh my gosh, I just realized what, you know, boys and girls were like and I'm in love. You're past that and you're into something else. They need to eat a graham cracker. Okay, so far so good? We see this?
Yeah.
All right. And then what comes after the soldier? Then comes the justice. The justice has a round belly with good capon. That's like, I'm not even gonna, well, you can look and see what that means. They have severe eyes and a formal beard. They are full of wisdom. Who does that sound like? Who are people that don't exercise as much as they used to? They're past the fighting stage. They've got rounder bellies because they're well fed. The how old? 30s. Yeah, the 30s, right? They've got formal haircuts. They know the laws. They're full of wisdom they want to give you, right? So this is like our adult, right? Full of wisdom. I'm going to put this, whether or not you want to hear it, they're happy to share it with you. Back in my day. You've gained some weight. Normal haircut. Okay. So we're through 5 ages, 2 left to go. The 6th age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon with spectacles on his nose and a pouch on the side. So we've got spectacles on the nose, the 6 age shifts, lean, slippered. For his youthful hose well saved, a world too wide for his shrank. This man has shrunk. The clothes he used to wear when he was a youth, they don't fit him anymore. Why don't his clothes fit him anymore? Did he get too fat? No. Travis, why don't his clothes fit him anymore?
He got too fat.
He did not get too fat.
Ah.
Look at the opposite. His youthful hose well saved, a
He
world
became smaller because whenever you get older, your spinal cord starts to shift to the side, so it actually would be bigger on him.
he shrank, so to say. His big manly voice becomes a childish treble. This man is old. He's old. His voice weakens. He shrinks. Do you guys know people like this?
Hmm.
Sorry, that's fourth. Oh, hi, puppy. The fifth is the adult, right? The sixth is that older person. This is kind of where my dad is now, right? My dad is 79. He's old. He's not as strong as he used to be, but he's not at stage 7. Let's look at stage 7. The last scene of all. This ends the strange, eventful history. It's a second childishness. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything. Look at the bottom. Sans means without. That very last stage, they're without teeth. They can't see. They can't taste. This is where my grandparents were right before they passed away, right? 7th stage. This is extremely aged, near death. Teeth. See, it's like being a child again. Do you guys know what depends are? Come on, surely you know what depends are. Travis, what are depends? Do you know what depends are?
Depends on.
Depends. No, like the actual product.
No.
Like the candy?
No, how do you guys not know this?
You said Pez, right?
No, not Pez.
Oh.
Depends. Depends. It's underwear for adults. It's like diapers.
Yeah, I don't think I know what that is.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so, well,
Miss, you act like we would know what this is.
don't you guys have grandparents?
No, we just messed up in the crib rocking some adult diapers.
Look.
No,
Let me
my
tell you.
my grandma wears them, but she doesn't wear that brand.
Oh, okay. All right. But this is what happens to your body when you get old. You lose control of yourself. You can't control your body. And so you have to
Yeah.
wear diapers again, just like you did when you were a baby. You've come full circle. With a baby, no teeth and diapers. At the very last stage of life, no teeth
Now
and
she stopped
diapers.
circle.
It goes right back to that. Man. Okay, so that's our paraphrase of the poem. You guys feel like you understand this pretty well?
Yeah.
Okay, let's look back at the title again. We're going to skip the connotation, the attitude for right now, and let's look back at the title. What did the 7 ages of man mean? What did that mean? Were we right? Come on, guys. Were we right? Travis, you're the only one I can pick on because you're sitting right in front of me.
I know.
Were we right? What do the 7 ages of man mean?
7 stages of life.
Yeah. Ages or stages of life. Very good. So that's our second T. We were right. Now we see that these 7 ages are those 7 stages of life. Okay? What do you think Shakespeare was trying to tell us in this poem? Why did he write this? Travis? That phone, man. Travis is, what stage would we put Travis in? Maybe the 2nd stage, doesn't want to go to school. You're not at the 5th stage. Where are you, Travis?
What stage is the third?
The 3rd stage is the lover. You're very emotional.
Oh, no.
Travis says he's a fighter. I'm a fighter, not a lover. Okay. Travis, why do you think Shakespeare wrote this? What did he want us to know after reading this?
Like stages of life.
That they exist?
Yeah.
That we move through them?
Yeah, basically, evolution of life.
Okay, the evolution, the stages of life. Go ahead,
Probably
John.
bringing just like awareness to it.
Yeah, he's bringing awareness to it. Saul's right.
Yeah, awareness.
Not to interrupt, but can we like get off the adult diapers on the thing?
Oh, sure. Yeah. There you go.
Sorry, I was like, I know we're talking about something serious, but we're
No,
still on adult diapers.
yes, I agree. We don't need to look at depends anymore. Okay, but yeah, so he's walking us through the stages. He wants us to know that there are stages of life that we all move through. Okay. And if we were going to label them, which is what we just did, I think we'd see that the infant is helpless, the schoolboy is whining, the lover's emotional, the soldier is devoted, the judge is wise, the old man is still in control of his mind and body, and the extremely aged goes back to that helpless state of the infant. Here is a picture of the 7 ages of man. Somebody read, not somebody, but William Mabry read Shakespeare's As You Like It and drew or painted this with the 7 stages of man. So if you look back here, we have the helpless baby. Here we have some school children, not super interested. The lover, the soldiers fighting. The wise man, the judge, right? The old man, the sack, he's stooped over a little bit, and then the extremely aged, right? So you've got all 7 of those stages there. What I want you guys to do now, what, Travis? No. What I want you to do now is I want you to pick yourself or someone you know and tell me what stage of life they live in. You'll find that option under classwork with the question, the 7 ages of man. But wait, we're not done yet. Under Masque of the Red Death 7, you had 2 things. Pull up the chart now. It looks like this. Travis, pull up the chart. I'm going to go help Travis pull up the chart.
Travis, talk back to you, nigga.
All right, good. Go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, pull it up with Cammy. Okay, good, because you're going to fill that in. That's the real assignment. But Travis, how do you feel about that? You got that poem. Yes. Feel pretty good about that. Okay. So here we have the colors of the room. Blue, purple, green, orange, white, violet, and red and black. What if each one of these room levels matched a stage of life? What could you say about it? Here's one for you. The blue one, which is the furthest east, right? That room's the infant. That would make the black and red room what? That would be
Death.
yeah, death. Extremely.
Wait, so they directly correlate to each other.
That's one theory, is that the 7 rooms are the 7 ages of man. If you scroll down, here's another theory. The 7 rooms are actually the 7 deadly sins. Here are the 7 deadly sins. There's lust, that's when you want something that you don't have.
Greed when you
Greed, right?
greed when you want more.
When you want more than you need.
You're never satisfied with what you have.
Gluttony is when you consume more than you need. Gluttony is often overeating, but it could be drinking more than you need. It's just whenever you take more than you need. Envy,
Being jealous.
right? Envy is when you want
Anger.
what someone else has. So I guess lust is more sexual. Anger and wrath. Pride and vanity, that's when you think a whole lot about yourself, and then sloth and laziness. So what?
Wait. Okay, miss.
Yes.
So technically, like, because the reasoning for lust is because orange is the color, orange and yellow and red are the colors of passion and excitement. So technically, there's a way to not get this wrong if it's what you think, right?
For
Because
sure.
like people could think envy is like green,
You could.
or they could think greed is green, but there is
You
no
could.
wrong answer.
Exactly. There's no wrong answer. The wrong answer is no answer.
Okay.
That's the wrong answer. Everything else is good to go. Okay, so what are you doing? You're filling out these 2 charts and turning them in, and you're answering the question on Google Classroom. And that you've got 40 minutes, okay, to do all of that. If you need me, I'm here. If I'm not on camera, I'm over there with Travis, so you can just unmute yourself and say, hey, Ms. Ritchie, and I'll come back over, okay? Otherwise, really good work with the poem today, guys. I appreciate it. Let's see if we can't unlock some of Shakespeare's. Oh, one more thing I wanted to tell you. Remember that this story is an allegory. And in an allegory, everything represents something else. So each one of these rooms represents something else. That could be the 7 deadly sins. That could be the 7 stages of man. Okay? So, yeah, that's it. With that note, I'm muting myself, and you guys can